It's a big thing to me. And I think that it can be a very important thing in everyone's life because I started doing it when I was 14. And for some reason, well, initially, it didn't pick up really quickly. I was writing once every other day, and then I skipped a few months, but I kept going until it became a thing and it became almost a need. At the end of the day, I had to sit down and you go through your day again. It was an important moment. I would say like meditation in a way. And then this writing thing became like a dialogue with myself. And I started carrying my journal, which was a notebook just like this one, with me. And I would also not write just at the end of the day, but also wherever I was. If I had waiting time or I was on the bus, I would just jot down some ideas and some thoughts. So it became almost like a second life, a private life of a dialogue between me and myself. And I kept doing it for years. And I loved writing. Well, see, fast forward, I published a novel. So I do love writing, expressing myself with written words. And then I started keeping the journal on my computer. And just recently, I started audio recording some journals. Not all of them. I still write. Now I can pick, I can alternate. But I do talk to myself and I record audio journals. And very, very recently, I found a very good artificial intelligence tool to transcribe the audio. And I was quite impressed by the results because when you talk to yourself, you ramble. I mix languages. I all sorts of things. And I was quite impressed. The purpose of the transcript is not that of, reading really, but more of that making that audio searchable so that I know where I talked about what. And so I have this wealth of material about my life that sometimes going back and rereading, even just like that for no reason, showed me the value of that. Like now I have a lifetime of this, so I can go back and reread stuff that I totally forgot I wrote, because you do forget. You think you remember, but memory, wow, this is such a distorted mirror. And it's fascinating because if it works like this, maybe there is a reason. It's okay. What we remember, what we forget, and how we remember certain things makes sense. But it's interesting to have documentary evidence of how you were feeling back then, how you were thinking back then. And sometimes when I reread, I get all sorts of emotions. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. What I like to highlight is that it gives you a sense of how, as you're going through things in life, it's always now. For example, very banal thing, many years ago, not about today, I remember always writing in the journal, it's a tough period, it's a tough time, I'm having a hard time, always thinking it's just now. And I was rereading this and I'm like, girl, I have news for you. This is your life. This is not a period of time. This is your life. You better fix it. And I wouldn't have realized that without the evidence there. So I thought, wow, okay, this is brutal evidence, very objective of my voice back then, of my pain, my joy, my thoughts, my feelings, what was going on. I reread it differently now. I'm a different age. It's just a wealth of material that I find so priceless to help me navigate my life today. Now, I'm not saying everybody could do it. Everybody do it, go and journal. It's not for everyone. For me, it was a need at some point. I wanted to, I needed to. And I did start my first entries when I was 14 to just write, today I've done this and I've done that. It's about, a record of the day. And then you start writing your thoughts, you develop, it's philosophical, you write about your dreams. And the cherry on top of all of this that I'm saying is that I digitized all of those notebooks, and slowly I'm transcribing them very slowly. But the cool thing is that I can just go back and read, because by transcribing them, I have all of them in my computer and they're named by date, so it's easy to go and find out. And the audio is transcribed, and of course the computer is already there. I have a database, I have metadata for it. It's a work in progress, but the structure is there. And sometimes I run statistics. on it. And I'm like, look at that. Back then I was this was a trending topic in Federica's life. And I'm a nerd, you know, I can program, I can do things. So I'm crazy. I developed this web apps for myself, you know. So the journal is a magical tool. It's a platform. It has many uses, and that, at least in my life, gives me a way of making my life very coherent, closing circles, making my life a work of art. Because, like I mentioned earlier, what I loved when I was 20, guess what, are the same things I love today. Most of those things that I was only dreaming of, I have lived, or I have now. And the journal is just all there to show the process. I'm not forcing anyone to do it, but I'm very much in favor. And if someone is just thinking about it or never thought about it, give it a try. Journal. It's therapeutic in and of itself. They say, even science says, that writing your thoughts down is therapeutic.